missed out from advancing?
And that's David Malukas, who, as we talked about, had a promising start to the weekend, but ultimately not the lap you needed there. What were you battling?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You know, our car was very good, and then coming to when it really matters, it really wasn't there. We just really were struggling with understeer. I don't know if we just tipped it over. But yeah, we put those reds on. We were expecting to go quicker, and I mean, man, they were really struggling on me, and I couldn't get them to work. So yeah, our heads are going to be scratching, and that really is not what we wanted, and it's really unfortunate, man. It looks so promising, and yeah, we just don't advance again after first qualifying, man. Still another race where we don't get fast 12. It's very frustrating, and I don't know. We're going to go back and look into it.
Thank you, David. Kevin.
Well, it's been a challenging day for Scott Dixon, and it continued with a brand new race car, by the way, one that had never been on track. What were you feeling? What was the experience in this queue?
Yeah, just huge thanks to everybody on the PNC Bank number 9, and actually all of Ganassi for chipping in. Unfortunately, you know, where it crashed, it kind of dented the tub a little bit. The tub's fine, but they thought it best not to run it, so we had to switch to another car. And it was tight turnaround. They worked their butts off, but yeah, got in the car. The brake bias was at like a really odd number, like 20% abnormal, so I wasn't sure where the brakes were. And then the steering was off. Then I don't know, maybe on the caster wasn't right or something either. So it was just a bit of a mismatch. I think we still had the pace to convert but I made those 2 mistakes. I felt like I was locking rears going into turn 3. And lost the rear both times there, so yeah, it sucks.
Thank you, Scott. He's got the warm-up, though, to continue to dial in the car.
But just pissed what Dixon did this morning. It's just ruined our whole weekend, and just a terrible move all up.
You try to put together the car the best you can, but it's never going to be the same after a crash of that significance. What can you do from where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, the guys did a great job. Fortunately, we had a screwdriver in there, and that was sort of the laps to get it going, but everyone thrashed, did a fantastic job. And we got out there, did everything I could, man. He's just so hard in this field if you're behind the 8 ball and you're not sure where. With new front wing, new floor, you don't know where the aero balance will be. And they balance all up, so, man, frustrating because I felt like we were really quick this morning. But, yeah, surprised. Just disappointed with what happened. Really disappointed. And Grosjean is a piece of crap if you saw what he did in practice. He needs a punch in the face.
Okay, we'll look for that video next. A lot to work with there. We'll circle back. Dylan.
Graham Rahal not quite as Graham Rahal not quite as upset, but 14th is where he'll start on Sunday. So how would you kind of slice that? I think maybe okay, but not as good as your teammates.
Well, as good as one, not the other. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, half-second delta there is just way too much, and you know, our setup's a little bit different. We're quite a bit stiffer, but that wasn't the delta in practice too. So, you know, you've got to look and understand why and where the time comes. The gear stack's a little different too, and I think that's hurting us, particularly in qualifying. Going faster, I wasn't downshifting as much, and the gears were too short, you know, too boggy then, too tall. So got a little learning to do overnight here. You know, I generally I'm pretty pleased with the balance. I think the guys have done a good job. It's so fast in most of the corners now that I mean, tiny little details will make a massive time difference on track. So we just got to fine tune a little bit more, I guess.
How on the razor edge is the grip level? It seems like if you get offline, you're in trouble really quickly.
Yeah, the carousel is very interesting. You know, if you're 6-8 inches to the left, you know, you're gone. I mean, and so it's a skating rink offline for sure. But I'm going to just say, you know, I think Road America, whoever got the paving job here, we always beat up the paving companies, but whoever got the paving job here, unbelievable job. I mean, it is so smooth. I think the smoothest place I've ever driven in my entire career, and it's just going to get better. You know, next year is more cars, more track days, more everything runs here. It's going to get silkier, and I mean, beautiful, beautiful place.
Thank you, Graham. He'll start 14th on Sunday. Kevin.
Felix Rosenqvist will start.
Thank you, Graham. He'll start 14th on Sunday. Kevin.
Felix Rosenqvist will start, I think, right behind him. It's been an odd weekend. What do you make of where it's at and what you needed to be able to advance?
I had a mistake on my black run, so we decided to run new blacks to start with, and turned 12, finishing the lap. I had a wobble and basically threw away the lap, and from there on it was a lot of red flags and stuff. Oh, there was a red flag, and it was just hard to kind of, you know, get back from that. So, I mean, it was on me. I made a mistake, and feel normally I'm pretty good at piecing a lap together, but it just, didn't work out. So, unfortunate. I think we definitely had a car for Fast 6. So, but we can, you can fight from here. You can fight on this track from here. So, we just have to regroup.
We're kind of wondering what the tire choice is. Is it still definitely sticker alternates in qualifying? But then Fast 6 is probably going to be new primaries. Agree? Disagree?
Yeah, I don't think an old alternate is going to beat the new primary. I mean, I think pretty much the lap time is the same, maybe like a tenth or two quicker on the red. So, I think that's going to be the key.
Okay, thanks, Felix.
Unfortunately. Yeah, let's chat with Helio. So a little bit of work to do for you tomorrow, but it seemed like maybe your teammate had the lap that you wanted there.
The reason that we, just so explain to everyone, the reason that both of us are kind of like smiling a little bit, it's because I said, look, is everything all right? P15, P18 will be good, but P20 is more solid than what we're going to have. And my teammate ended up doing that, which is, unfortunately, I'm just a couple of tenths behind him. This feels so tight. It's so incredible. I thought I had a little bit of movement, but guys, I'm talking about this much. If it would be in any other track, you would say like no problem. But because it's this surface is so smooth, it makes a big difference. So interesting. We can't go that fast like the other guys, but let's watch qualifying and see how fast those guys can go.
Certainly been exciting. Appreciate it, Helio.
And let's hear from Benjamin Pedersen. A job well done.
That's right. It's his best career qualifying effort of 10th. Betters his Indianapolis 500 effort of 11th from just a couple of races ago. So I feel like there's a lot of positive things with AJ Foyt Racing right now, and I imagine you're pretty happy with that.
Oh, yeah. By far the best qualifying performance on the street course this year. We definitely didn't roll out in practice one with, the best car, but we just kept our heads down, keep working hard, and got it in the window when it mattered, really. It was the best it's felt all week in qualifying, so I was pushing it all I could. So tremendous result from the team. I think Santino made it through as well. So, yeah, we're just getting better and better. I'm loving every minute. Obviously, last month for Indy 500 was a tremendous month. This has been a great qualifying, and everyone's very passionate. So it's a privilege to be a part of.
We've seen veterans this weekend making mistakes, sliding off the racetrack, incidents on the racetrack. How tough is it out there, especially for somebody like yourself who is a rookie here?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, this is the longest track of the year, but somehow, even though it's over 4 miles, we managed to getting boxed up just with gapping. So that's just IndyCar, but that's what makes it special. And, also a big thank you to all the fans here. The energy here is amazing. I've never felt anything like it outside of Indy, and it's just a fantastic year so far. Just getting better and better.
Well done. Benjamin Pedersen rolls from 10th tomorrow. Kevin.
Marcus Ericsson is going to start just inside of him in 9th. So what kept you from moving forward?
I did a mistake on my last lap. I think I was a bit over 3 tenths up on myself, so that should have been enough to transfer, but I just locked up the front into 8th, so just a driver error. So yeah, tried a bit too hard, but car's been good all weekend. Obviously P2 was a bit messy, but we're in the mix. It's always tight in IndyCar, so a bit frustrating to miss out, but still inside the top 10, so we can still race from there.
Messy is putting it mildly. Has this track been more challenging than expected this weekend?
I don't know. The new asphalt has definitely changed things quite a lot. There's a lot more grip out there, but offline is very slippery, so I think that's why we see a lot of guys make mistakes, because you can be, if you're in the racing line, you have a lot of grip. You put half a car with outside the racing line and you start spinning. So I think that's why it's been a bit messy, but it's a fun challenge. I enjoy it.
All right, thank you, Marcus.
And point standings heading into tomorrow's 8th race. Here's Dylan.
Yeah, we got Devlin DeFrancesco. Nice qualifying effort for him as well. 12th. That matches his season best. So how would you evaluate your qualifying session and your fast 12 run there?
Just trying to dial some rear security in, and I think we just missed it by a little bit. That's all we were really looking for. Our car's really strong. Quite a different spread in the field between blacks or reds and what seems to be faster. And I think for every car, it seems to be a bit different. I think we're confident in what we have. We know what we have, and I think we know what we need to make it a little bit better.
What have you felt like the difference has been on your car? Is it a dramatic difference, or are they pretty close together, blacks to primary or blacks to reds?
I'd say they're fairly close between the two to do the lap. I just think the blacks take a little bit longer to do the lap, but I think ultimately the lap time will be the same. Happy with our run after this morning with all the red flags to, get out of our group and fairly easily, and just a scrappy run in the fast 12 is all.
All right, that's what it takes sometimes. Scrappy for Devlin DeFrancesco. He'll roll from 12th, Kevin.
Pull Marcus Armstrong over here as well. You're going to have your best IndyCar start tomorrow. I'm sure you want a little bit more, though. How close were you being able to get in that Firestone Fast 6?
Yeah, it's pretty close. I haven't actually seen the timing yet, but they kept me in the car just in case there were some penalties afterwards. Unfortunately, there wasn't, but man, again, the car was just amazing, and I'm upset that I didn't make it in the end because my lap wasn't very clean. So potential for more, and I think that tomorrow's going to be really interesting.
The team has given you some credit of helping lead the direction because you got a chance to test here. What did that do for you? And what does that kind of do for your confidence level when you've got champions, Indy 500 winners saying, all right, we trust the young guy?
Yeah, well, they were all following over Discord over the course of the day, and I was being very critical of the car at that rookie test, and I think that sort of helped us for yesterday, and certainly we made a big step forward yesterday as a team collectively, so I think good teamwork, and I mean, once again, I think we have a really good race car, and we have a lot of potential.
One of the reasons we've been so impressed with Marcus Armstrong is he always expects a little bit more. He's ahead of about 10 different drivers in the championship that are full-time, and he's missed 2 races because he only does the road and street course races.
Yep, good stick shootout. But before we get to that, let's go back down to pit lane with Dylan.
Let's catch up with Santino Ferrucci, who continues the strong weekend for AJ Foyt Racing. He'll roll from 11th tomorrow. So what can you say just about this AJ Foyt Racing group and the effort that's been made to take this step forward and put both cars in the Fast 12 for the first time in I think it's 5 years or something like that?
Oh, that's pretty impressive. A teammate did a fantastic job too all weekend, and I think he struggled a little bit more at the start. But having that test here last week for him was huge. I obviously didn't test; I watched. But our program, when we started in thermal, we were 2-3 seconds off. We got to Barber, started to close the gap a little bit. NDGP really started to close the gap, and then coming here, just once again, it's just little things. But our car right now is faster on the prime tire, and so we're still missing that little bit to get on the alternates. So that's next for us and the next stage for maybe when we go to Mid-Ohio. But no, very proud of our entire Sexton Chevrolet's AJ Foyt Racing crew here.
Thank you, Santino.
Here's Kevin with Alex Palou.
I would say you feel pretty good about that recovery from a crashed race car to starting third.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts. It hurts because we could have been fighting for pole even more without that crash. But anyway, good recovery. Amazing job by all the Ganassi team making sure that we had our car on track. And, yeah, getting ready for tomorrow.
It's one thing to get the car on track, but to have it good like it was before. What's that first session like, just kind of feeling things out?
Yeah, obviously they had to do a big rebuild, especially on the right side. But everything felt normal like this morning, so just had to get the confidence back. Obviously, we're missing a little bit on driving, losing so much time this morning. But yeah, pretty happy starting P3. It's awesome to drive an IndyCar around Road America.
Alex Palou, championship leader, is going to be starting near the front tomorrow. And
Kevin.
Pato O'Ward might try to race him into turn number 1 and have something to say about that. Considering how odd the entire day has been, do you feel fairly satisfied to be able to start up front?
I am, man. It's a front row start. We just missed pole there by a tad. I just got a little wide in Canada, and yeah, by then you can't really back off. So I kind of just rode through it, but I think that's where we lost it a bit. But no, Colton did a good lap, and this is a very good starting position for us. It's a long race. It'll be interesting tomorrow, with reds and the blacks, because it just seems like the red isn't faster. It's just not. And it's usually the complete opposite everywhere else we've ever been. So, yeah, I mean, we're happy. I'm happy with the car, and we're ready to flow with it tomorrow.
All right, Pato O'Ward is going to start second. He's finished second twice this year, looking for that first win of 23.
A trying day at times, but I think the speed has been there. That part has never been questioned. So, Colton, we'll go ahead and present you with the NTT P1 Pole Award here at Road America. It's been an exciting day. As we said, the speed has been there both of these sessions. How did you put it together here to get a lap ultimately that was going to stick at the top of the board?
I mean, just great car. We've been working at it the whole time, and like I said earlier, like this place with the repave is not easy. So, you know, to have a car that was stable enough to really attack in that last Fast Six was impressive. So, big props to Nathan O'Rourke, my engineer, the whole Gamebridge Honda crew. Yeah, it's been way too long this year for us to get a pole, so it's nice to finally get one.
What will this do for tomorrow with all of the unknowns about getting offline, how we're going to be able to pass? How big is this pole for this weekend?
I hope it's big, but I really don't know yet. It's hard to say, but it does make it easier than the last few weeks where we'll be coming from 24th to 14th or whatever. So we have a lot less work to do, so that's nice, and hopefully we can kind of keep it clean and up front and have a great day.
Colton Herta going to lead us to green tomorrow here at Road America.
Man, Colton Herta over former Indy Lights teammate Pato O'Ward.
And how about that? 4 different teams represented in the first 2 rows. That's going to be fierce and fun to watch. Alexander Rossi's looked fast all weekend. He'll be a little disappointed starting there on row 3, but a strong race car. And again, great story with AJ Foyt Racing. Benjamin Pedersen, the rookie, great qualifying outside row 5 with Marcus Ericsson, and then Santino Ferrucci, his teammate, coming from row 6.
You see a couple drivers you're not used to seeing this far back. 2 Penske's in Scott McLaughlin and Will Power, and of course Scott Dixon down there as well after his challenges.
And after all the drama between Power and Dixon in practice, they'll start right next to each other.